Hello, and welcome to this year's 16th annual Can Do Canines Tales of Independence virtual fundraising event. I'm your host, Mary Sue Kruger. I'm also a past board chair and a forever Can Do Canines volunteer. Thank you so much for joining us here online. In the next half hour, you'll be meeting a lot of our clients and their canine partners. You'll see how life can change dramatically when a person who needs some extra help finds a can-do canine who loves to be helpful. This is the impact that you're making on our community. We hope you'll stay tuned for the next half hour and then consider using the donate button to keep those good news stories rolling in. And your contribution can be doubled thanks to a $25,000 matching gift from the Jean M. Methuen Foundation. Our theme this year is saying yes. Our work is all about assisting people with disabilities to say yes to experiences that, until a certain dog came along, they might have had to say no to. Also, we at Can Do Canines love to say yes. If a client has a unique need that a dog can be trained to help with, we do our best to make it happen. Okay, this is usually the point in our event where I tell you more about our organization and explain our 5 different types of programs. Instead, this year, 5 Can Do Canine staff and 5 clients want to tell you how our mission makes them feel.
Hi, I feel blessed to work at Can Do Canines and care for all the dogs that so many people pour their love into, and then it's transferred on ultimately to the client. One of the dogs that I loved working with in particular was a little vivacious lab named Lola. I actually loved Lola so much that I have a picture of her here on my wall. And she ultimately ended up with her forever person as a hearing assist dog, and her person's name was Tammy.
Since she's come to stay, the whole atmosphere of our house has changed. It's become a place of security and comfort. My husband works long hours. During this harvest season, he's gone a lot, and I used to be afraid, especially at night. I know I'm an adult and there's no such thing as a boogeyman, but to take my ears out, to not be able to hear, what about the fire alarm? But now with Lola here, there's no need to worry. I can say yes to turning out the lights. And in the morning, when the alarm clock goes off, Lola will say, "Mom, it's time to start a new day." And I can say yes to a new day.
When I was looking for a career, I thought of being a police officer, being a paramedic, being somebody that helped the community. When I realized that those areas weren't for me, I found Can Do Canines and the mission of helping people with disabilities. I remember my first graduation standing in the back of the room with a big smile on my face. It was because I realized this mission was important and made a great impact on our community. I love that we can help people like Ray Ray by matching her with Mobility Assist Dog Tango.
I have a neurological condition called Charcot-Marie Tooth. It mainly affects my strength and my balance. For high school, I was not able to walk through the halls safely, but now I have Tango, and he allows me to say yes to being able to walk through the halls during passing time and walking around the neighborhood with my friends independently.
One of the reasons I really love coming to work every day are all the amazing stories that I hear between dogs and their clients. One story that really sticks with me is a nurse that has a diabetes assist dog, and she was at work one day, down the hallway, around the corner, behind closed doors, and her dog was down under the nurse's station. And all of a sudden the dog jumped up, ran down the hall, around the corner, jumped up on the door, scratched the door to get her attention, went in and alerted her that her blood sugar was dropping. So I'm just so happy to be part of these stories where we are literally saving people's lives. Another diabetes assist dog team that is really racking up stories is Hallie and her dog Binx.
I'm super grateful for the opportunity to be able to say yes again to long distance running after getting my diabetes assist dog, Binx. He helps me prevent my low blood sugars before they happen and prevents me from getting stranded out on a run because I can't treat my low. I'm also thankful for the longevity he has added to my life by being able to prevent those lows before they happen. He's a great dog.
I'm in a great spot here at Can Do Canines. I get to greet people as they arrive, hoping when they want to apply for a dog that they're going to get this life changer And then I also get to see them leave with their dog after they've trained so diligently, and they're joyfully crying and laughing at the same time. And then there was the example of Haley with seizure assist dog YOLO, as Haley smiled, the biggest smile, saying, "You know what YOLO stands for? That means you only live once." And YOLO allows Haley to live the best life she can live.
I say yes to volunteering because I honestly never thought I'd be able to do anything like that again after the epilepsy got really bad. And YOLO is my seizure support dog, and when I have a seizure, she's there. She she takes good care of me when people around me panic, and she's my best friend.
One of the reasons I love what I do is working directly with the people who foster our dogs. They sacrifice so much of their daily lives that with these dogs that will ultimately lead to a person that they really will never meet. And I think the empathy that they give is just so astounding in that, and just makes me emotional. I got to work with a foster home that got the dog Turbo that they were fostering, and Turbo is a lovable squish of a dog who is now an autism assist dog to a boy named Ryan, and they are just the perfect match for each other, and they just work so beautifully together.
One day we were at Home Depot, and Ryan likes to run the halls. One day he ran the hall, and he did not turn around like he typically did. You run around like a crazy person asking everybody around you, have you seen this boy? And finally they're able to guide you to him. But I vowed to never let that happen again. And that is why Turbo helped us say, what did Turbo help us say? He said, yes.
Yes.
Yes. To staying guided and grounded.
Jenny, can you park? Oh, good dog. Come on. Just kidding. Park again.
Did you like that quick peek into the world of a foster home provider? We couldn't do this work without the many people who volunteer to help us love and raise our dogs. You'll see 2 more of those fun little moments today. And if they move you to consider becoming a foster, we really hope you will. Next up, the person who first imagined Can Do Canines over 30 years ago, our founder and executive director, Al Peters.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us today. It's always great to interact with people who believe in Can Do Canines' mission. Right now, when there's so much financial and social upheaval, we're especially grateful for your support. We're relying heavily on our community as we look for creative ways to help people with disabilities in this COVID-19 environment. The same conditions that cause a person to need an assistance dog can also make them particularly vulnerable. So minimizing social interaction is essential. Along these lines, we're fortunate in one important way. You see, most assistance dog organizations train groups of clients together to save time. That's not feasible during the pandemic. And they often have people travel a long distance to their facility for training, which is also complicated these days. But we've always placed and trained our teams one-on-one. We also go to where our clients live and shop and eat. It's a more expensive approach, but incredibly beneficial to both the client and the dog. Each of them receives individual attention from our trainer as they get to know one another. Right in that moment, we can smooth out any issues that they're having, and it gives us the opportunity to customize the dog's skills to that person's unique needs. You'll hear more about adaptations in a little while. My point is that we're happy when we can continue to say yes to our clients without greatly jeopardizing their health or well-being. In fact, even though the stay-at-home order forced us to close the doors for 45 days, and most of our staff is still working from home, we'll be placing more dogs this year than ever before. Our goal is to do more good for more people every year, training more dogs and changing more lives. So thank you for the many ways that you support Can Do Canines. By opening your heart, by hosting a fundraiser, or by pushing that donation button on your screen. I hope you're able to help us today. You're the reason that we can keep saying yes to so many people, like Dawn. You supported our effort to train a beautiful Goldador for her, half Golden Retriever and half Labrador Retriever, named Trixie, who went to live with Dawn and her family about a year ago. And now, no one can imagine life without her.
Waking up from a seizure is like waking up in a place you've never been. I'm discombobulated. So having Trixie, she will apply pressure. I can pet her, she licks me. It helps me hit my reset, and it helps bring the calm, it helps clear my head, it brings peace. In 2009, I was working at a high school and experienced an assault, and which led to a brain injury. And as a result, I have experienced ongoing seizures.
One of the times that my mom had a seizure event, I had actually left to go to work, so my mom was here by herself. When I came back, my mom was on the floor and she was trying to get to the phone, and she couldn't get to the phone to call my dad or I.
Get the phone. Good job, Trix.
So that's been the biggest, I think, piece of security for me, is knowing that she can get to a phone, or a phone can come to her.
Trixie, ice.
So before Trixie, she didn't go on walks, she didn't leave the house. She didn't talk to a lot of people.
I think she stayed home because she was so different and was not secure in her abilities anymore. Like I said, she'd had to learn a lot of things over again, and it was really a confidence breaking, I think.
But now, with Trixie, life has changed, and people react to her. So they come to me, and suddenly I'm talking again and talking to people. Like, just in this year, I've, increased by 100-fold the number of people that I talked to in the time, 10 years. So that's huge. It's huge. For me, Trixie is kind of like a rebirth to life.
Dawn's video pulls at your heart, doesn't it? And it's only part of her story. Trixie helps Dawn in other life-altering ways, too. We'll tell you the rest of their story at some future Can Do Canines event. Here's a little spoiler alert. To support Dawn, Trixie also uses skills that she was never taught by Can Do Canines. She's taught them to herself to care for the partner she loves. And speaking of what our dogs are taught, here's a little insight from an expert on training dogs for Can Do Canines.
Hi, I'm Katie McGinn, the Can Do Canines Prison Program Coordinator. I manage all 7 of our prison programs. And by the way, the amazing Trixie, who you just met, got a lot of her training in prison. I want to give you a little behind-the-scenes information on what goes into training our dogs. This here is Pippa. She's a happy little girl that everyone around here adores. Up until now in her life, she's been raised, trained, loved by volunteers in their homes and in our prison programs. They've taught her a lot of the skills that all good assistant dogs need to know, like basic obedience, how to lay down quietly, how to ignore those really exciting moments like squirrels and pizza hitting the floor. Here's another example of a skill that a lot of people need a little help with, getting their jacket off. Pippa, come here. Can you tug? Tug, tug, tug. Good girl, right here. Pippa, tug. Good girl, tug. Bring it. Good girl, Pippa, nice job. Pippa has recently been matched with her forever human partner, so she's in her final training where we teach her skills that her particular person could really use. We want people to get the most out of their relationship with their can-do canine. And the other side of that is very true too. We want the dogs to live great lives. They have to be in a loving home with a person whose lifestyle fits their personality, and they have to have a passion for what they'll be asked to do. As it turns out, Pippa is a mobility assist dog. I want to show you something we've just taught her to do, but I need a different kind of chair. We'll be right back. Let's go, Pippa. Pippa's new partner needs a little help to get his foot up onto the wheelchair. So that's one of the skills we taught Pippa in her final training. Pippa, foot. Good girl. As you can see, Pippa's a very sweet dog. Our staff is really going to miss her. But this pup is about to go out there and change her person's life. That's why we love what we do. Thank you for making these partnerships possible.
Yes! I've stepped into an office here at Can-Do Canines to talk to one of our soon-to-be graduates on Zoom. Her name is Annika. Hi, Annika.
Hi.
Annika is only 23 years old, and she has recently been matched with her second diabetes assist dog. After only 4 months with her first Can-Do canine, Tori, Annika lost her to cancer. Tori died in January of this year. Annika was too heartbroken to get another dog right away, but has recently opened her heart again. She's a senior at St. Olaf College in Northfield. Annika, introduce us to your new college roommate.
This is Leah. She's my diabetes assist dog, and she's 2 years old.
Tell us, what was life like before you got a dog?
Life was very stressful and difficult, to be honest. I had to check my blood sugar by hand with a finger poke 10 to 12 times a day at least. I was always nervous. I didn't know what my blood sugars were doing. I was hospitalized a couple of times for low blood sugar, and I never slept through the night because I was afraid of what would happen if my blood sugar dropped and I didn't notice.
Oh, I can understand. But then you got Tori. Tell us about her.
Tori was perfect, honestly. She was the sweetest dog I have ever met. She loved her job. You could tell the focus was absolute all of the time.
After you lost her and before Leah, did you go back to having some of the same problems?
And my diabetes control got noticeably worse. I was having more hypoglycemic episodes that I wasn't aware of. So I was anxious and stressed. I would set an alarm for every 2 or 3 hours overnight to wake up and check my blood sugar again because I was so scared of it going low and I wouldn't notice. And it was emotionally and physically draining.
And it was about time then to apply for another Can-Do Canines dog, I understand.
Yeah.
And you got a call asking if you'd be interested in Leah, but there was something you needed to know about her, right?
Yes, Leah is actually one of Tori's puppies.
And how did that make you feel?
It was really exciting, honestly, knowing that one of Tori's puppies had decided to follow her footsteps in diabetic assist work.
Tell us about the time she alerted you from under your desk.
So this summer I was studying for the LSAT, the law school admissions test. And I was paying a lot of attention to the practice exam. And suddenly I look down and I see Leah's nose starts twitching. And then her eyes open. And then she pops up and looks at me like, something's wrong, what is it? It's you. And she aggressively puts her paw on my knee like, you need to pay attention to this right now. So I asked her to go get the test kit, and she goes right over and grabs the test kit, and yep, my blood sugar's low.
Is there anything else that you'd like to say to Can Do Canines?
There are a lot of things I would like to say to Can Do. The main thing is thank you for everything that you do. I have experienced more support from staff than I ever could have anticipated and more than I could have asked for. And I'm honored and I am blessed to be part of their family.
That is so wonderful. She is an adorable girl, and we're so proud of you, and congratulations.
Thank you.
A little while ago, Katie mentioned our prison programs. In fact, we talk a lot about our prison programs. It's such a transformational experience for everyone involved, including the dogs, the clients who receive these well-trained pups, and the inmate handlers themselves. Enjoy this inside look into one of our prison programs.
So Can Do Canines has prison dog programs at a number of different prisons. They come into prison at about 4 months of age, and the guys raise them for about a year, and they're doing all the basic training of them.
Park. Yeah. Let's start there. Okay.
Bend over like you're gonna tie your shoe.
We go to training on Wednesdays and Thursdays with Miss Dyan. She's a wonderful teacher. She sits down and tells us what we need to do, and then we go back on the units and we try to do everything she tells us to do.
My hopes for Liam are, as they are for any dog that I train, is that they walk across that stage when they're getting placed with a client. I can't even express in words really, how much that means to have played a part. It's a big thing, and it's a huge honor.
This puppy program is all about that. Because I got something to give. And I'm gonna do everything I can to keep giving.
One of the guys said to me one time, the first person this dog helped was me.
I came into the program thinking about what I was going to be able to teach a dog, and really it's turned out what the dog has taught me. When I go back to being without a dog, I'll be without a dog, but I'll be so much better as a person.
One of the inmates came up to me one day and he said, Miss Dyan, he goes, I can do 2 more dogs while I'm here in prison. I said, yeah, why is that? He goes, I have 4 chambers in my heart. So he's done 2 already. He goes, I got room for 2 more.
I'm here with Doreen West. She has been a Can Do Canines volunteer and donor since 2002. That's 18 years, right?
Correct.
She often volunteers at the front desk, so she knows a lot about our mission. Hi, Doreen.
Good morning.
You're always so very humble about the things that you do for us, so thank you for letting us share your story with the world.
My pleasure.
You recently made a donation of an incredibly generous $45,000, and that is so kind of you. I wonder if you'd be willing to share a little bit about your decision to give such a generous amount.
I love this organization, and I think it's worth every donation I've ever given, plus some.
Great. Why did you choose this particular time to make such a generous donation?
Well, the pandemic, of course. All the nonprofits are hurting, and I don't want anything to happen to Can Do Canines. I want their legacy to keep going and it's hard when people aren't donating.
Wonderful. All of us want to thank you so much, Doreen, for talking with us today, and of course for your generous donation.
You're welcome. Thank you.
What a beautiful way to start Tales of Independence energy flowing. Doreen's gift has inspired all of us here at Can Do Canines, and the simple truth is, we still have a very long way to go to fill the gap in our budget this year. COVID has hit us hard. The fallout has made our need greater than ever. Many of our normal income sources can't come through for us because of their own struggles during the pandemic. Our contributions are down by about $200,000. We're hoping you can help us close that gap so we can continue to give dogs away free of charge to people who need them. For more years than I can count, my husband Marc and I have been supporters of Can Do Canines. We make a significant annual pledge, and we're supporters of the capital campaign that funded this state-of-the-art training facility. And here's why. We can't bear the idea of a lovely soul like Dawn losing her connection to most of the people and activities that made her happy. She became basically homebound. How would it feel to be left behind like that? And then Trixie comes along to open her world back up. As Dawn put it in the video, Trixie is like a rebirth to life. I want to be part of making that happen for people, and I'm hoping you'll join me. We're asking you to make the decision right now to donate more than you had pictured yourself giving today, to help a person who needs a dog to keep them safe and calm in their isolation during this pandemic. Like Doreen, let this be the way you choose to give back. Thank you for being part of our Tales of Independence event today. You are the reason we're able to train and place these life-changing dogs. But wait, you'll want to stick around for one final surprise.
Hi, I'm Shenna, the Can Do Canines training manager. Until this year, we've always held this fundraiser as a live event, and we've always ended it by bringing out a bunch of cute puppies in training for you to pet. We don't want to cheat you out of your puppy experience, so here's the online version. Sorry, you won't get to smell the puppy breath, but you won't get any dog hair on your clothes either. It's a trade-off. We really want to thank you for watching today. If you contributed online during the last half hour, or if you donated in advance, or if you plan to support us after the event, you have our heartfelt appreciation. And here's why your contributions are so vital to Can Do Canines. Because this little pup might grow up to help load and unload the washing machine because their person doesn't have enough strength to do that. Or maybe a couple of years from now, this little girl will let her partner who has hearing loss know that someone is trying to break into their house by alerting to a burglar alarm. And what about this little one? Might be called on a lot to lick the hands and face of someone who needs their help coming out of seizures. Yeah. See? Already an expert on licking. And what if this puppy's job is to help keep a child from bolting out into traffic when they get overwhelmed? That's important work. Then there's this pup. Oh, hi baby. Yeah. Might be on duty to let their partner know that their blood sugar is dangerously low, and they should check it before they end up in the hospital again. Of course, these puppies have a lot to learn before they can suit up to help their perfect partner. Between now and then, a whole bunch of people are going to have to get involved to give them the love and education that they need. If you have friends who might be interested in helping us place more dogs with people who need them, we'd really appreciate it if you'd share this online event with them. When it's over, it stays available on YouTube, so just push the share button and off you go. All of this life-changing potential is a direct result of your kindness and generosity. We never forget that. Thank you for everything you do for Can Do Canines.